Hello, hello, and good day, adventurers. Today in the shop we have, well, we have the 13th and final gauntlet. It is the Gauntlet of False Power. We're also going to do a little sum up of all the gauntlets in general, just a little bit of additional information or a reminder of some information that I might not have said at the end of every video. But let's get started with the Gauntlet of False Power. Now, there's not going to be a document today, it's just going to be Big Me on the screen, and that's because there really isn't much of a document or much of statistical information for the Gauntlet of False Power, because the Gauntlet of False Power is a cursed item. Unlike all the other gauntlets which go on the right hand and arm, the Gauntlet of False Power goes on the left hand and arm. And it's supposed to inspire characters or make characters think that it's going to double their power from their gauntlets, but it doesn't. It is actually a nullifier for the gauntlet. You put it on, so when you find the gauntlet, if you already are wearing a gauntlet, you get the sensation that you're going to double your power. Double the abilities that you have from your current gauntlet to inspire and to motivate people to put it on. If you don't have a gauntlet on at all, you don't get a feeling whatsoever when you grab the gauntlet. And so when you put the gauntlet on, what it does is it completely shuts off everything that the gauntlet has currently done for you. Everything that every transformation, alteration, everything that the gauntlet has done is turned off for while the other gauntlet is on. And while the other gauntlet is on, they are both stuck on the player. So essentially, because of this, both ring slots, hand slots, and wrist slots are turned off and not able to be used in any form or way, shutting down 4 magic item slots for this cursed item, and then this semi-cursed artifact, which is supposed to boost you and give you a bunch of powers and abilities. Now, removing the gauntlet is supposed to be a very unique way, and it should be different every single time. So for an example, trying to remove the dragon gauntlet, maybe you need to get a drop of dragon's blood to put on the gauntlet to remove it. And then another thing to note, another advantage of this cursed item instead of a disadvantage, is that this gauntlet is also the way that remove the main gauntlet. So whatever way that you say that you come up with to remove the cursed gauntlet, they should be allowed and be able to remove the main gauntlet at the same time as removing the cursed gauntlet, giving them a chance to give up whatever powers they maybe didn't want from this gauntlet. Maybe they misunderstood the abilities when you tried giving them their sensation, their description of what could possibly come when they put the gauntlet on. And it happens. People just they might really not like the ability. They really not like the minor disadvantages that each gauntlet comes with. Like, for example, the dragon gauntlet end up increasing in size or growing wings and stuff like that. Players might not like that. They might not like that at all, and so they might want to get rid of it. And so they might actually search out the cursed gauntlet. Like, you can have rumors and stuff or research for them to find about the cursed gauntlet, and so they might search the cursed gauntlet out just for the sake of removing the current gauntlet that they have equipped, so that way they could put a different gauntlet on or just get their magic item slots back because they want something else instead. Now, if you plan to add this gauntlet to your world, any world whatsoever, one easy way to go about it is just to choose a percent that you like, a percentage chance that you like that the gauntlet could be found at, and then roll that percentage die every single time they find loot. Anytime they find loot from a boss or just randomly in a dungeon or something like that, go ahead and roll the loot die. Go ahead and roll the percentage dice, and then if it comes up the percentage chance that you like, have a gauntlet appear. And then if you want to decide which gauntlet do they find, well, go ahead and roll a d12. There's 12 gauntlets. Don't include the 13th gauntlet until they have found one of the 12 gauntlets first. So roll a d12, and have the gauntlet essentially whichever gauntlet is, number the gauntlets out. So, you know, either you can go in the order that I've revealed the gauntlets in, or you can order the gauntlets in a randomized order. You just roll the d12, choose which one that is, and have them find that gauntlet. Now, once they have found one gauntlet, you can replace the first missing gauntlet's number with the 13th gauntlet if you want, or you can leave the 13th gauntlet to be something to be sought, searched for by the rumors of it either doubling their power or removing the gauntlet, whichever one you want to go with, or the idea that I could do both. And so, or you could add it to the roster of gauntlets to be found later on, like just having it take the place of the last one. And then another thing to note is that you don't have to keep using a d12. As more gauntlets are being found, less gauntlets are available. If you don't want there to be doubles, and I highly recommend you don't allow there to be doubles. Doubles can feel a little weird. So if you don't allow double gauntlets in your campaign, just start minimizing the dice that you use as they're finding more and more of these gauntlets. Like after they've found 2, use a d10. After they found 4, use a d8, and just have it be the remaining gauntlets, and so on and so forth until all the gauntlets are found, or however many gauntlets you added to your campaign are found. Now, one thing to remember, I didn't say this at the end of every one of my videos, but there is the fact that the gauntlets fade away and disappear at level 20. I didn't say that on all the gauntlets. Some gauntlets I gave unique descriptions, and I think that was because when I made these gauntlets at the time, I didn't have a good idea for each one, and I'm still deciding whether or not what's a good idea for each one. So come up with a creative way for the gauntlet to disappear if I didn't already give one, and have it completely and utterly disappear off the arm, returning to them their ring slot, their hand slots, and their wrist slots for magic items, because at level 20 it should just be immense power. Now, if you feel that that's overpowered and that it should take up those magic item slots, then yeah, go for it. It's perfectly okay. Have the gauntlet be permanent. Have the gauntlet be there permanently until it's removed, either by the cursed gauntlet or so on and so forth. And another thing to remember about the gauntlets is that another thing that I didn't mention at the beginning of every gauntlet video that you should remember is that the gauntlets, when you find them, they should give you a sensation of what it is, of the powers that you'll gain from wearing that gauntlet. So like, for example, the Dragon Gauntlet I've been using this entire video, when you find the Dragon Gauntlet, they should get a sensation that they will be flying through the sky and they'll have immense power and strength at their disposal, and that should be something that should be clear. Now, you don't have to exactly give them, like, you don't have to tell them all the powers and stats of every gauntlet if you don't want to. I personally think that the gauntlets should be a bit of a mystery when you find them, and that they should have to guess what it is that the gauntlet's going to give to them. Now, if you've been playing with them for a while, though, and you've already used them several times, go ahead and just let them know which gauntlet it is, because chance has it they'll know right away from the description after having used it or seen someone used it. But that's just a little reminder of the sensation that you should give to your players when you use these gauntlets. Now, this has just been a quick little sum up video of all my gauntlets, talking about how how to add them to your loot, and the sensations, and the fact that they fade away, and then the Cursed Gauntlet, the 13th Gauntlet, the Gauntlet of False Power, being able, a way to remove gauntlets, but at the same time, it's also a thing to shut a gauntlet down if you want to shut a player down for a while. This is just a cool little video that I made just to let you guys know all this. Now, if you have any ideas, maybe you think that I should add stats to the 13th Gauntlet, or you have ideas of how the 13th Gauntlet should work instead, or if you have a good idea of a generic side quest that should be the usual way to remove it, go ahead, let me know in the comments if you want to. Tell me anything you want to tell me in the gauntlets. If you have been having fun playing with my gauntlets, go ahead, tell me that too. Come see me at one of my streams. I'd love to talk about my gauntlets. I'd love to talk about my experiences and your experiences with the gauntlets as well. I'd love to hear how you guys are using them and how they've been useful or cursed or damning to you guys. I would just love to hear all that information. I really would. And normally, The description will have the link to all of my gauntlets to all my videos. I think that this video I will not put those links in, just because of the fact that that would be a lot of links. It's 12 links. I guess I could add it. You know what? I will. I will add the 12 links to all 12 gauntlets to this video. So if you're looking for all the gauntlets and maybe you didn't watch one of my previous gauntlet videos and you want to know what they all are, I will leave in the description a link to every single one of the 12 gauntlets, so that way you can use them. And there is no document for this video, so there is no document for the for the 13th gauntlet. It's just this little wording that I said to you, where it's meant to completely nullify the effects of the original gauntlet, and it's supposed to open up a way for the players to be able to remove the current gauntlet, and also a quest to remove the false power gauntlet, so that way they can get their power back from their gauntlet, or can move on with their lives in any way that they want. So otherwise, I hope you guys have been enjoying the videos. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys enjoy the streams. I hope you guys have been having a lot of fun. I hope you guys have been staying safe, and I hope you guys are having a good time, because if anything, that is what matters out in the world right now, is having a good time. So otherwise, I hope you guys have a safe adventure.